Have it. We now come to motion number 5, relating to voting by proxy, serious long-term illness or injury. I call the Leader of the House to move the motion.
I beg to move the motion in my name regarding proxy voting for those suffering from long-term serious illness or injury. I just wanted to explain a bit about this, as just put on the record for members. Under Standing Order 39A, members are currently eligible for a proxy vote due to childbirth, care of an infant or newly adopted child, complications relating to childbirth, miscarriage or baby loss, and risk-based exclusion from the parliamentary estate. However, the temporary arrangements in relation to proxy votes for members suffering from long-term or serious illness expired at the end of the last Parliament. I've therefore tabled this motion to reinstate eligibility for proxy votes to members with long-term illness or injury until the end of the current session. Permanent changes to the rules governing this House must be introduced with due care, and it's important that we ensure the right balance is being struck. So before asking the House to consider making these arrangements permanent, I've asked the new chair of the Procedure Committee to provide recommendations on the operation of the proxy voting scheme. So I hope members will support this motion today, and I commend it to the House.
Yeah. The question is as on the order paper. Shadow Leader of the House, Chris Philp.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Well, once again, I find myself in agreement with the leader on the substance of this issue. Perhaps it'll become a habit. I don't know. So we do, on this side, support the intent behind this. Clearly, if a member of Parliament does have a serious long-term illness or injury, then it is reasonable that member can still exercise their vote, even if absent. One question that I did have is just, how that threshold will be defined. Who decides whether a particular member has or has not met that threshold, and what sort of evidence might be required to prove that, so a doctor's certificate or something. Now, maybe that is the kind of question the Procedure Committee will answer, but if the Leader wouldn't mind just making a very brief response in a moment, I'd be interested just to know her thoughts on those specific practical questions. But in principle, Madam Deputy Speaker, we support this change.
I won't detain the House very long either, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I very much welcome what the Honourable Lady has put forward tonight. The House proved itself when people are under adverse circumstances, whether through COVID and all the problems that came, and this House stepped up and made sure that right honourable and honourable members had an opportunity to use their franchise as they should have. It's only right, I think, that in this new term it should be extended for the 5-year period. I think what I feel in this House we should be doing, and I think it is shown by what the Leader of the House has said tonight, is to show that this is a caring workplace, and that those who sometimes will always be, some of us will be under pressure sometimes, whatever that may be. It's good to know that we can go to someone and have a chat to them, and they can help us get through this process. This House does that. I commend the Honourable Lady. Thank you.
Thank both the Shadow Leader for his comments and the member for Strangford, as ever, for his attendance and his contribution. And I echo what he says about making sure that we are considerate and caring, and allowing members to, when they absolutely cannot be here, are still representing their constituents by having their vote counted. And I think that is a really important principle that the proxy voting scheme was designed to ensure. The Shadow Leader asked some important questions, and indeed these are the issues that I've asked the Chair of the Procedures Committee to consider further. There have been so it's currently quite onerous in terms of requiring doctors' consultant level doctors' notes around reasons for absence. There are certain illnesses that fall into the category, and there have been some questions raised in the past by members and others about how some of those decisions have or haven't been reached in that way. So I think it is really important that we maintain the option. I absolutely didn't want a situation where we had a member undergoing treatment for cancer or something, for example, and weren't able to apply for a proxy vote. But exactly how this is delivered in the long term and permanently, I think it's right that the Procedure Committee really do consider that, to make sure that everybody who we all would feel is fair for them to be eligible for a proxy vote in these circumstances is getting one, and actually also those who I'm sure many of us would feel it's a bit of a stretch for them to get a proxy vote for these reasons are not getting them. And I think we just need to have a short review of some of those arrangements around it to ensure that going forward this is something we can take forward with confidence on a permanent basis.
The question is, as on the order paper, as many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.